There have been cruel leaders at all times and ages, but the ruthlessness of these leaders surpass all in human history. One man's hero is another man's tyrant, a popular maxim goes. No matter how a historian tries to spin it, ordering a tower to be constructed out of live men stacked and cemented together with bricks and mortar is downright brutal. Here's a list of the most ruthless leaders of all time. But before going in detail, you all are requested to subscribe my channel, please. Number 1. Attila the Hun, reign AD 434-453. After killing his brother, Attila became the leader of the Hunnic Empire, centered in present-day Hungary. He expanded the empire to present-day Germany, Russia, Ukraine, and the Balkans. There, where I have passed, the grass will never grow gain, he remarked on his reign. What a ruthless remark it is. Really, he destroyed towns, villages, walled cities, churches, markets, ports, and farmland. The Huns were interested in grabbing people, animals, loot, and land. They destroyed food sources for their enemies, and nobody was safe from their wrath, including priests, monks, and nuns, which the Huns would often massacre. B was called the Scourge of God for his cruelty. No. 2. Genghis Khan, born 1162-25. August 1227, also known as Chinggis Khan, was the founder and first Khagan of the Mongol Empire, which later became the largest contiguous land empire in history. Genghis Khan was a leader that was ruthless in his aims and ambitions, a man who thought nothing of destroying everything in his path. His reputation of extreme brutality sent villagers running from their homes when they got even a hint that Genghis Khan was coming their way. No. 3. Timur 8, April 1336 to 19th February 1405, was a Turco-Mongol conqueror who founded the Timurid Empire in and around modern-day Afghanistan, Iran, and Central Asia, becoming the first ruler of the Timurid dynasty. An undefeated commander, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest military leaders and tacticians in history, as well as one of the most brutal and deadly. Pillage and murder, as Marlowe put it, were Timur's usual traders. Everywhere he went, he waded deep in blood and brains, destroying cities and massacring their populations, building triumphal towers of his victims, severed heads, and carrying off survivors as slaves. So according to the estimates of the modern-day historians, the total death toll that resulted from the Timurid conquests would be somewhere between 8 to 17 million. Hardly a small figure. No matter how you look at it, Timur's conquests were one of the most brutal historical events. Number 4. Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin, a Soviet revolutionary and politician who was the leader of the Soviet Union from 1924 until his death in 1953. He held power as General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, 1922-1952, and Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Soviet Union, 1941-1953. Initially governing the country as part of a collective leadership, he consolidated power to become a dictator by the 1930s. Behind his bland, dark eyes, the man of steel had a hard, mechanical brain that never hesitated at mass murder in its driving ambition to dominate the world. Millions of Russians, many of them Stalin's one-time friends, went to martyrs' graves because they threatened his plans. Tens of millions more were consigned to living death in concentration camps. Stalin was responsible for 2 particular waves or horror, which will mark his name in blood forever. The first was the Great Russian Famine he brought about in 1932-33. The second was the series of purges by which he became Russia's uncontested master in the late 1930s. Number 5. Adolf Hitler, 20th April 1889. 30th April 1945, was an Austrian-born German politician who was the dictator of Germany from 1933 until his suicide in 1945. He rose to power as the leader of the Nazi Party, becoming the Chancellor in 1933 and then taking the title of Führer und Reichskanzler in 1934. During his dictatorship, He initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on 1st September 1939. He was closely involved in military operations throughout the war and was central to the perpetration of the Holocaust, the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims. He devised a plan to create his ideal master race by eliminating Jews, Slavs, Gypsies, homosexuals and political opponents by forcefully sending them to concentration camps where they were tortured to death. According to reports, the Nazis killed about 11 million people under Hitler's regime. Thanks for watching.